What's going on, everybody? Coach Chris here with AIM Basketball. In this play, we're going to talk about a special play, one that I love, often run by the Golden State Warriors and many teams, a very successful play that has tie-ins to different plays that people love to run, connects them all together. When you walk into a tall building and you go into the elevator and you look at the elevator buttons, which button is normally missing? It's usually that 13th floor or unlucky 13. In this play, it's called number 13. We like to call this play 13 or the elevator play. Now, we also call this play Canada because it has Canada play or the shooter play built right into it. Let's get started. So let's talk a little bit about the players that you need to have on your team and their skills that you need to make this play successful for your team. First thing we want to talk about is you do need to have at least two good shooters on your team in order to execute this play. Your best shooter or one of your best shooters should be your inbounder. Okay, the primary scorer for this play is going to be your inbounder. Okay, the next best player, usually your scorer, somebody who can score off the dribble or shoot a three-pointer, should be your low post on the ball side. Now, your other three players do need to be able to pass the ball well and set good screens. This player right here in the high post ball side does need to be able to create separation and cut well, be able to catch the ball and pass well, and if necessarily, be able to drive at the hoop if nothing is open on the pass and get to the rim and make a play for himself or herself or somebody else. And then on the weak side, these two players need to be good screeners. So they do need to learn how to screen and set screens together for the shooter in this play. As well as number one, this guy right here also needs to be able to set screens as well. Let's get right into it. All right, so the action is set up into about 4 different segments or 4 different actions. We're gonna go through the first series of actions here. And first I wanna show you is that we've put in 2 defenders to simulate that one, your shooter needs to be able to get open and the type of screens we're going to set on the shooter's defender. And then the first pass is a very important pass that usually good teams try to defend very well. And we'll show the counter to if it's defended well, where do we go next? Okay, so let's start. The first series of play is the inbound right here. The one needs to get open and the one's going to use a separation cut. So he needs a V cut going towards a hoop, creating sort of a sense of separation here, and then cut corner. As they're cutting corner, the ball needs to come as they're moving and not when they arrive. Okay, so the ball needs to come as they're moving and not when they arrive. So we're going to get separation, and as we're cutting out, that pass is going to happen right there. Boom. Now he's got separation. His defender is on ball. Okay. That's the first series of actions. That's it. That's separation. We need to get that separation. Now, let's just talk. If that player is well defended, let's bring them back. Okay. And maybe one is denying the ball inbounds here. And maybe one's a larger player defensively than the guard that you're trying to get open at the corner, and the one's trying to cut in and is being really well defended, and as it cuts out, you can't get on the pass. And this happens. Then what you want to do is you want to create the same action with your 4. Your 4 is going to V-cut in and then out, and we're going to skip the 1 and go straight to the 4. And that's how that ball is going to get to the 4, which is the next pass in this series. Okay, so just in case you run into a scenario where your one's being guarded and cannot get open, that's what your relief is going to look like. Okay, the next action steps in this play is we want to get the ball from 1 to 4 is going to get open on the wing. Our 2, after they made the pass, is going to step in to the middle. Our 3 is going to come to the free throw circle zone, and our 5 is going to step into the free throw circle zone as well. So let's run through those actions. Okay, 4 cuts in, cuts out, 2 steps in, 3 comes up, and 5 comes in, creating the elevator doors right at the top. And then the ball, as 4 is coming up, is going to be passed to 4 on his cut or her cut. So now it looks like this. We have our elevator doors set up right at the top. Okay, those are our elevator doors. Okay, and we have our shooter who's in step-in mode and now in a decision-making box. We usually call the decision-making box this area right here. That player in that box is going to make a decision. Which way do I go? What shot do I want? Okay, because that's our primary scorer in this play. Okay. Now, let's talk about the next series of actions. Each series of actions happening independently, but linked together with every pass. The next series of actions that are going to happen are the down screen from 1. So now 1's going to set a down screen for 2 or on 2's defender. 2 might be over a little bit, so that's going to be, he's denying the ball. 1's going to come and set a screen for 2. And 2's going to use that screen if he wants to take the stairs. This is the stairs. 2's going to use that screen if he wants to take the stairs. Okay? Or, at the same time, go back here, 5, let me get this out of the way so I can drive, 5 and 3, make sure you're above the free throw line, because you do not want a 3-second count. 5 and 3 are going to set what's called elevator door screen. Okay, coming together to trap 2's defender in the key while 2 slips through the elevator doors. And that kind of looks like this. 2 will come through that screen, and at the same time, 3 and 5 will come together, closing the doors and leaving 2's defender inside. So what we call these series of actions is 2, the shooter, can take the elevator or can take the stairs. If they take the stairs, that's called the Canada play. And if they take the elevator, that's called the elevator play, or 13. All right, let's run through that. So here comes the down screen by 1. And at the same time, 2 is going to use it to get the pass back from 4 right here and a shot. That's the Canada play right there. That is Canada built into this play. Don't close the elevator doors until 2 comes through. And let's make sure, because this is important, 3 and 5 should not be far apart, because it will take too long for them to close the elevator doors. They want to be close together, leaving enough space for 2 to get through and then be able to take a step inwards and close the elevator doors. So elevator action now, 2's in the decision-making box, 2 cuts up through the elevator doors, and his defender is following, and just as 2 slips through, the elevator doors close, trapping 2's defender in there. Dribble up to swing that ball as 2's coming through, and 2 has a shot from the top. Okay, and there's that shot. That's the second option or the first option, whatever decision 2 makes to choose, going and taking the stairs or using the elevator. Okay, if that's not there, now have a shot opportunity. So 1 is going to fill separation cut at the wing. And at the same time, 2 is looking to pass the ball to 1. Right there. 1 cuts. 1's defender's trailing. Maybe 1's defender's pretty quick. But the ball comes because there's separation. And 1 is able to sweep the ball against that closeout and attack the hoop for a layup. Or maybe 1 didn't close out all the way and 1 leaves space and does not want to close out. 1's defender does not want to close out, and 1 can simply just take a shot from here and make that basket. And a third great option is if 1 has the ball and there is a closeout, the 4 can backdoor cut to the ball side post, and it's really just a fail cut based on our offense. 4 can just fail cut, hoop cut, looking for the ball, and maybe the 4 gets it at the post. Looking here, if they don't get the ball here, fills at the post, and we can go Lakers cut off the post, can pass it in, and 1 can cut high or low, whatever side for the handoff. And there's more options that will come out of that. Or 4 can get it in the post and drop step, fake handoffs, keep it, and dunk the ball.
To the middle of the paint, too easy.
Jarrett Jack swings it back to Curry. Whistle, that'll count. And this might...
Warriors looking for their first lead on this trip with 6:50 left in the first quarter. Here's Curry.
Landry, Jack, and Stephen Curry. David West back on the floor for Indiana.
Well, I think one of the things that, they set a screen there for Curry, and there was no way.
Never really added it up. I don't want to.
Multiple decades and counting from our partner. Klay Thompson.
I just don't understand how he's not an all-star.
David Aldridge, we have 2 sharpshooters out of the lineups tonight for these teams.
Yes, sir. And Steph Curry was in his hotel room in Chicago.
Steph Curry, time to set his feet. And you know what that means.
They shot there. They had double teamed him, had him corralled in the corner, and Tony Parker. It was a sensational effort.
Shot 21 for Parker. 1 to give, and then they will be shooting without the clock running.
Under 3.5 to play. Curry open for 3. Jennings had to run at him, couldn't get there.
Steph Curry, Jarrett Jack, Harrison Barnes, Draymond Green, and Carl Landry. Curry springs free and drops in the